properties were getting caught up.
Yeah, so we had a backlog, we got caught up in that. We anticipate only 3 properties
I think
going
20.
through this land use change, so we use $6,000 per property. Huh?
That's high, but
Well,
I hope.
and we kind of yielded to the selectman who has the assessing.
Okay.
So what that represents is the $6,000 is when they take it out of land
So,
use?
yeah, so when you have land that's enrolled in current use, if you build on it, that's a change of use, and it, there's a penalty, which is, it's roughly 3 years worth of full rate taxes on that, whatever that footprint is.
And so then that number is put where? That, because it goes into current, it becomes taxable.
It becomes a revenue.
Yeah, it becomes a revenue, but you gotta remember, these revenues, property taxes do not show up on us. That's a different,
No, I get that, but
Yeah.
when somebody takes their property out of land use, subdivide, and now they're paying higher taxes. So that 20,000 represents the difference in what that number was when they were in land use. They're not paying that now, they're paying taxes.
right.
Gotcha.
They pay taxes, Joanne, but the 20,000 is a one-time hit.
Right.
It's a one-time hit when they take that piece out. They get
Oh.
one bill for that.
Okay.
But yes,
Yeah,
their
for that.
taxes will increase slightly, but that land use change tax is just a one-time hit for those properties.
Gotcha.
So that's, I paid that this year, my property
Well,
came out of
thank
current
you.
use. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Yield taxes, 16,120, DRA approved 15,000, 12,000 is projected revenue. Sean explained that there would be less timber cutting.
No, it's not so much that, it's, what's happened is we've seen the prices for lumber have declined sharply, which has driven down the prices that the loggers get when they bring their logs into the mill, which in turn drives down the price that landowners are paid for their stumpage. So DRA then lowers the rates that we use for figuring out that tax. So we dropped it a little bit, figuring just anticipation that that's what's coming.
Okay? Questions on that?
Have those rates been established yet from the DRA? Those yield tax
We
rates?
usually get those in, so that the tax year goes to March 30th.
Yeah.
So usually it's in April that they set the new rates.
Any other questions on that?
Can I ask that lady to identify herself? I don't know.
Oh, I'm Mary
Mary
Moses,
Moses.
85 Clough Road.
Oh,
Hi.
didn't recognize you.
Okay, excavation tax, very minimal. Revenues approved, no increase in projected revenues. Not much gravel moving. Questions on that line item, Tom?
Are we down to one pit now? Is Morrison?
That is correct, we're just boot jack. So we've been, Morrison goes in there and has some activity, and we gotta shut him down, because he's been told numerous times that his permit to excavate is expired. He used to work for the planning board to get back in compliance, so we've now rejected 2 intents to excavate because of that, which is allowed under DRA rules.
Thank you.
Okay, interest and penalties on delinquent taxes. Tom, this might speak to yours a bit. This is a revenue from interest accruing. 9305 was the revenue prior year. The DRA approved was 20,000. The select board's estimate is 10,000. Questions on that? Okay, so taxes subtotal 73,593 was the collected revenue. The DRA approved was 82,000. The selectmen's projected revenue is 42,500. Moving down, licenses, permits, and fees. Aha. I didn't mean it to come up. Business yeah, getting tired. 4 AM, so long day. Business licenses and permits, revenue was 9438. DRA approved was 4,700. The select board is projecting 7,000. Questions on that?
We get $1 for fishing licenses, so I hope everybody goes out to get one. That's what we earn for a fishing license.
Motor vehicle permits, revenue was 241,930. The approved DRA was 195. The projected is $220,000. Any questions on that?
You're not gonna buy any new vehicles.
I didn't hear what she said. I couldn't
She
hear.
asked if anybody was going to buy new vehicles.
I hope everybody does, but you better do it fast. I hear things are going up, so.
Yeah.
I just bought one last year, I'm not gonna buy it. Too expensive.
No, you're not getting another one.
Okay, we're going to move on. Building permits, the revenue was 1787. The approved amount was 2,000. The revenues are $1,000. I know that question came up whether building permit fees would go up, and I think it's on the to-do list or the master plan list.
Yeah, that's, you know, the driving on that fee is new construction and the per square foot fee that goes with that, which we are woefully behind on. I think we're 14 cents per square foot. It really needs to be like 4 times that now.
I thought we were doing building permits for Mr. Thompson.
No, what we were gonna do is, redo, actually a lot of the simple stuff, you get a building permit, there's no fee.
Oh, okay, so
We
this
are
is new construction.
New construction would be,
Questions on that line item? Other licenses, permits, and fees, 2638 was the revenue. The DRA approved was 3,500, and the select revenue projection is 2,500. Fines, VS fees, miscellaneous received. Questions on that line item?
so the VS is vital statistics.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I told you I was gonna find out, I found out, and I just, we didn't meet, so yeah, so it stands for vital statistics. So if somebody needs to get an updated
Yeah, our
birth
marriage
certificate,
license, birth
marriage license,
certificate, any of those
yeah.
things, fines, dog fees, late dog fees, those types of things.
Like my price for $2.
Okay, under fees and permits, the revenue was 255,794. The projected is 230,000. Moving down from the state line, meals, rooms, and tax distribution, 100,000. DRA approved 100,000, 395. The select board's projecting 90,000.
So you guys probably heard of the news, state of New Hampshire's gonna get about $2 billion less in federal funds this next biennium. We're just anticipating that the revenue sharing's going down. It's got up, so we hope it doesn't, but we just, like I said, we took 10,000 off it. There's only so much they can cut, but
Highway block grant expense or revenue was 51,519. DRA approved, it matches that, and the projected is 51,500. Any questions? Moving on. State and federal land first reimbursement revenue was 41,8293. DRA approved 1,066, and the select board is projecting $2,000. Questions on that? Flood control reimbursement. Revenue was 33,100. DRA authorized 36,218, and the projected revenue is 35,000.
So we have our fingers crossed. We actually had the assessor, Stephen Thompson, this has been one of his pet projects for years, was able to dig up a plat of the lots down in the old town. And so we asked the assessor to take a look at that and to reassess the village based on, by law, that's what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to look at it not as one large tract of open land, it was supposed to be as if these were all individual lots, because that's what we lost, so. Yeah, changed the valuation from like $1.5 million to $8 million. So the corresponding tax rate for that should actually net us $110,000. The problem with that is we have to rely on the majority of the New Hampshire legislature, the majority of the Massachusetts legislature to appropriate the money to pay for it. So, you know, Stephen really wanted to put $110,000, and I wish I could say we're gonna get Rick and I both feel that the chances of us getting $110,000 are pretty slim, and that the $35,000 number was the, was the number to put down. If we get 110, great. You know, what we always try to do is budget the revenues slightly on the lower side. So at the end, when we do this calculation on appropriations, revenues, you know, how much we have to raise taxes, if it looks good, if we exceed our revenues, then it looks even better. So,